Hello, class. This is one of the use case descriptions for the current CRM system that Liberty uses that will be replaced. This use case is concerning searching for a student. So, how it currently works is you'll have three different actors for this use case. You'll have the end user, you'll have a gateway app, and you'll have Microsoft Dynamics 365 Dataverse API, which houses a lot of student information and data. The precondition for this use case is the end user would have to be connected to the internet and authenticated to the system. And then the post condition is after a successful search, the end user will be able to see the student's CRM profile. So the first step for this use case is the end user would select search criteria from a drop down to search by. It could be by last name, first name, their Liberty ID, Liberty email, phone number, or social security number. And then the second step would be the end user, after selecting what to search by, they would enter the search criteria. So if they selected Liberty ID, they would just input the student's ID to search for. After that, the third step would be the gateway API will handle the input and then actually query the Dynamics 365 Dataverse API, which at that point the data would be returned to the gateway app and eventually to the user screen. There are two alternative flows to this. If somebody searches for something which does not exist in CRM, the search will just display that there's no data available for that search criteria. And then the second alternative would be if the end user entered invalid characters, or the length of the characters was too much, such as a social security number. It's supposed to only have 9 characters, but if they entered 10, then a CRM will display an error message. So for the new CRM system, the use case is pretty much the same. The only difference would be instead of searching and querying Microsoft Dynamics 365, it'll go through the Student Information API and ultimately to the Oracle database for that. And then these are just diagrams of the whole system for the old CRM system. It will have a login use case, which will go to an identity provider, such as Azure Active Directory. This is the use case that we just went over for searching by a student. You can see that it will connect to the Microsoft Dataverse API. An end user can then, once they click on a student's CRM profile, they can view that student's data, which also that will interact with the Microsoft Dataverse API. And then if the end user created an activity record, such as a phone call, that will be linked to the student's CRM profile, and that also goes through Microsoft's Dataverse. Then this is for the new system. As you can tell, it's pretty much the same. It just goes through different endpoints, the Student Information API, as well as the Activity API. This is the current system's activity diagram. As you can see, the user will first select the search criteria, and then they'll select the input. If it's not valid, it'll display an error message, and we'll just go back to allowing to the user to input another search. If it is valid, it'll go through the gateway and to the Microsoft Dataverse API and then back to the user. And for the new system, as mentioned, it's pretty much the same thing. It just goes through the Student Information API instead. So that is the use case diagrams and activity diagrams for the new CRM as well as the current system. So hopefully that was helpful for you.